Hello, good evening and welcome to JoyNews Prime. We're coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle. We're live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 and of course around the world on myjoyonline.com. I'm Noella Kareniali. Coming up, Ministry of Education consoles families of 7 Laura Senior High School students who perished in a canoe accident. Also, President Mahama directs energy and finance ministers to protect gains made in reduction of petroleum product prices as global prices surge due to Israel-Iran hostilities.
I've asked our Minister of Finance and Minister of Energy to keep a close eye on the development and model the possible impacts on our petroleum prices.
We've got these and many other stories coming right up. Stay with us. Do not tune off. You're welcome back. This is JoyNews Prime. I'm Noella Kareniali. Let's settle for the details now. And the Ministry of Education has issued a statement sympathizing with the families of 7 Laura Senior High School students who perished in the canoe accident and the students drowned after their boat capsized on the Black Volta River at Dikpe while attempting to cross into Burkina Faso. The tragic incident occurred during what was supposed to be a routine morning jogging session, and according to report, 10 students had gone for their morning exercise but unexpectedly decided to travel to Burkina Faso. The ministry in a statement said it will continue to ensure the safety and security of students, and we've got excerpts of that statement. I would quickly read through it if we can have it. We'll bring that later to you in the bulletin. But away from that, a severe rainstorm has hit Nandom, destroying properties worth thousands of Ghana cedis and rendered 135 households homeless. Now, the storm, which came with speed and force, ripped off roofs of dozens of homes, schools, and shops. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, says they're doing assessment of the situation to enable them to seek support for the victims since their stores are empty. JoyNews' Upper West correspondent Rafia Salam has this report.
The rainstorm, according to the victims, started around 4 p.m. on Friday. It ripped off roofs, pulled down buildings, and uprooted economic trees, rendering the victims helpless and homeless. According to initial assessment of the extent of destruction by the storm from the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, 135 households have so far been affected in the municipality. About a dozen communities in the Nandom municipality were affected by the disaster, but the worst communities being Ko, Tuopare, Tukung, and Gu. Assembly member for Tuopare electoral area, Augustine Deri, painting a mental picture of the disaster in his community, says foodstuffs and other valuables of the victims were drenched by the rain, and the school in the community had its roof ripped off.
Newly constructed buildings have been ripped down to floor level. Currently, the school that I'm standing by was also affected by the storm. In totality, over 100 houses in my electoral area have been affected. People who have got foodstuff stuff in their rooms were all soaked with water as at yesterday. Some have got difficulties in drying them since morning. Several calls have been made to see how benevolent individuals and NGOs could come to their aid. In fact, it is so devastating.
Assembly member for Go electoral area, Temfa Bombie Kennedy, on his part, disclosed that the incident affected power supply to parts of the community.
Within the community, we have about 8 broken poles. 5 high-tension poles down. Then they stepped down about 3 of them. So because due to that, light has been off in some section of the community. And as today, other people uses the light for their daily activities, especially economic activities. Those who have cold fish around, cold stores around, in fact, they are struggling. So we also call on VRA to speed up their work and then help the community. Thank you too.
Julia Langeliko is a mother of 3. She had her entire roof ripped off by the storm, displacing her with the children. Her foodstuffs and the children learning materials got drenched by the rainwater.
As I say, I have free to o baga chance ali tuluni. Ache mani bibiza sa benedi ko. It is a benedi o ba a chance lobera dam ko.
Speed and force.
Until anatu sa
Rip off my entire roof. Leaving us in the open. My children ran away from the house, leaving me lonely in the rain. All my valuables, including my foodstuff, children educational materials, all got drenched. We kept them outside to dry.
The rainstorm victims asserted that they are at their wit ends and calling for support from the government, non-governmental organizations, and individuals to come to their aid.
The community is a farming community, and many of these affected individuals are all peasant farmers. Some have actually complained as to how they are going to start from the scratch to where their properties were lost. In fact, me as an assemblyman and staying in the community have actually shared their plight, and I am actually inviting anybody who have got the people at heart to come to their aid.
Any support anywhere, be it government or individual, we will appreciate it.
The Nandom Enclave in recent times have experienced some rainstorms, but none has gotten to this magnitude. The victims are traumatized and looking to NADMU for support, which is not readily available. Fidelis Naikur, a senior officer with the Nandom NADMU.
For now, we don't have any support for them. What we do is to get the data and submit it to the regional office, where they will then forward it to the national level for any support if possible. But for now, we do not have support for them.
NADMO for now is still assessing the extent of damage inflicted on the sea of people in the Nandom municipality to seek for support at the national level. Despite the magnitude of the disaster, no death was recorded. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafia Salam, Tuopare.
Now, the Ministry of Education has issued a statement sympathizing with the families of the 7 Laura Senior High School students who perished in the canoe accident, and they drowned after a boat capsized on the Black Volta River at Dipe while attempting to cross into Burkina Faso. Now, the statement is what you're currently seeing on your screens now, and I'll read excerpts of that quickly. It says, on behalf of the Minister of Education, Honorable Aruna Iddrisu, and government, I convey our deep shock and sadness to the family of the 7 students of Laura Senior High School who lost their lives in a tragic boat accident on the morning of Saturday, June 15, 2025. In an unexpected and heartbreaking turn of event, 10 students from the school's cadet corps, during a routine morning jogging session, reportedly attempted to cross the Black Volta River near Dipe into Burkina Faso. Now, the canoe they joined tragically capsized midway through the journey. We have confirmation through the Upper West Regional Minister and Member of Parliament for Laura that 3 of the 10 students were rescued while 7 drowned. The bodies of the 7 students who lost their lives, 5 girls and 2 boys, have since been received by teams from National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, the Ghana Police Service, and the Ghana Education Service. The Honorable Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has instructed the Director General of the Ghana Education Service to convene an urgent meeting with the regional and district directors of education and the headmaster of the school and to report back urgently. We share in the grief of the affected families and the entire school community. Our thoughts and prayers are with them in this extremely difficult time. As the ministry awaits a full report from the Ghana Police Service, we wish to assure Ghanaians that we will continue to do our best to ensure the safety and security of our students. And that's signed by Dr. Clement Abaza-Pak, who's MP and Deputy Minister for Education. So that being done and said, let's go on Zoom and speak to my colleague, Rafia Salam, who has been on this particular beat. Rafik, if you can hear me, I mean, the Ghana Education Service, they released a statement, sympathizing with the bereaved families, but you have been on this beat. You have been following the story closely. Aside this statement, what can you report?
I can report to you that this morning, the members of the Upper West Regional Security Council, led by Chairman Charles Wonga Pozun Esquire, visited the scene of the accident at Dipe, and then to see for themselves what actually transpired, so that the people on the ground will tell them what actually transpired. From there, they had briefing from the headmaster of the school, Primos Abaron, who just came to the school just exactly a week ago, took over as the headmaster. He briefed them on what transpired. He said actually there were 16 students that were involved, but there were 10 students from the cadet corps that went to Dipe, went to the riverside to join the boat, and that unfortunate incident happened. And then from there, they also visited the school where they tried to condole what the students about what really transpired. But I can report to you that the people of Laura Senior, the students of Laura Senior School, for that matter, the people of Laura are really grieving. I have seen several people in teary eyes, and they are yet to come to terms with what transpired. And so some of them want to know what actually happened. Yes, they told them that they knew that their students, their wards were in school, but they don't know how come that they got themselves at the riverside. So they are seeking for answers from the authorities. And then some of them are also demanding that these bodies that were identified should be given to the families for them to do proper burial. And then the minister, Charles Wonga Pozun Esquire, told them that they have to finish, pleaded with them for them to finish with the investigations. After that, then they will release these bodies to them for them to do something else for them.
Right, Rafik. Excellent job done. Thank you so much. But beyond that beat, would come to you for more should any update pop up. So that was our correspondent Rafia Salam with the very latest on the story. But let's move away from that. And President Mahama has asked the ministers of Energy and Finance to prepare measures to protect the recent gains made in reducing petroleum product prices as escalating hostilities between Israel and Iran have started driving up crude oil prices on the global market. Now, speaking during this thank you tour in the Savannah region, he said that despite progress in stabilizing the economy, Ghana is not immune to the shocks of global events.
Despite the work we have done in stabilizing the economy, Ghana is not immune from the shocks of global events. Recent events in the Middle East, which involve an exchange of missiles between Israel and Iran, have started to escalate crude oil prices dramatically. I've asked our Minister of Finance and Minister of Energy to keep a close eye on the development and model the possible impacts on our petroleum prices and prepare measures to protect the recent gains that we have made.
Meanwhile, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies is predicting a drop in prices of petroleum products, and we have the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Rafia Salam, joining us via Zoom for a conversation. Doc, with the postponement of the implementation of the One Ghana City levy on fuel, are we likely to see prices going down?
Yes, thank you. And if you realize on Friday, we had an initial forecast of around 9.3% increase in petroleum prices. And yesterday, when we had the engagement and the new directive around 3 o'clock, we quickly went back to the tables and obviously realized a 2% downwards movement in the petroleum prices. And this is purely because of the ones to be taken out of it. The expectation of fuel prices dipping down again in this window was not, I would say, envisioned. I mean, we could not realize that because we saw a little bit of upward pushment in the plat prices. And this is not due to the Iranian war with Israel. And that effect might not be tomorrow, as in Monday, in our pump prices, as we do have stocks that have been bought by OMCs from the BDCs. London costs will probably use the just ended window. Should we suffer from anything from the I would say the war, then that will be from the second part of this coming window.
Right. I was just coming to that because obviously the hostilities between Israel and Iran is escalating. We wanted to gauge whether the impact on prices on the global markets would be harsh.
Yes, I mean obviously it will be harsh. We expect 10 to 15% increase if this war is not halted ASAP, because obviously there is a direct correlation between crude oil prices and the plat price. So most definitely, we're going to have that effect also on the pump prices. Should we maintain what we have today, that is the 11, 12, 13 average for fuel prices, then the city should be doing somewhere 7 cities to be able to liberate ourselves from the shock.
Right, Dr. Rivers-Sodopong, thank you so much for speaking to us on the news. So we're taking a quick breather here. We're back with more right here on the JoyNews Prime. You're welcome back. You're still watching JoyNews Prime. Now, the Inspector General of Police this week ordered major raids on illegal mining operations in and around the river and Cobra in the western and western central regions, arresting a total of 61 illegal miners. Now, those arrested included 17 Burkinabés, a number of Shangfang machines were destroyed, and 6 excavator machine monitors, 2 excavator batteries, and 32 gallons of fuel were seized. In the Nzima East operation, the task force was led by the Municipal Chief Executive Herbert Nia Dixon, the Divisional Police Commander Isaac Kwesi Sokpa, and other high-ranking police officers. Now, they met miners who were busily mining on the river Ankobra. Those arrested included one Musa Ali, who's 20 years old, and his colleagues who were polluting the river at Abilebo and Douale in the western central regions. The operation also led by the Regional Crime Officer, Chief Superintendent Apia Kusi, saw the arrest of 10 individuals who were mining near the Achim Motor Road and under high-tension electricity transmission lines. Also in the western central region, another operation led by the Regional Crime Officer with 30 personnel at Kanyanko Nsuaim saw the arrest of 50 illegal miners, 17 of them Burkinabés. One of them, Kwame Safo, who's 47, had in his possession substances suspected to be narcotic drugs. Now, according to police, the suspects were being processed for court. The operation covered parts of the Nzima East region, Kantanka and Nsuaim along the Achim Motor Road, and on the river and Cobra at Abilebo and Douale. And in a related story, the urgent global fight against plastic pollution took center stage this week in the Techiman North municipality of the Bunu East region, where the Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, rallied the community with a powerful message to turn the tide on plastic waste. Now, the EPA warned of toxic chemicals leaching into soil and rivers, while the Techiman North MCE announced sweeping sanitation campaigns and intensified school tree planting, all backed by a push to empower students as eco-champions. Anna Sabit has more on this report.
This deba marking the World Environment Day wasn't just about speeches. It was a call to arms against a visible enemy choking our environment, plastic waste. Another global theme and the Bunu East region's rallying cry, from pollution to solution, ending plastic waste. The Environmental Protection Authority and local leaders painted a stark picture. Plastic isn't just ugly litter, it is a toxic threat. Emmanuel Lingle is the acting regional head of the EPA.
This year's theme draws our attention to the need to see plastics, used plastics in particular, not just as waste which should be discarded to pollute the environment, but as materials that are useful for other purposes that can lead to reduction of generation of plastic waste and, of course, the accumulation of such waste in the environment to levels at which they can cause harm to the environment and to public health.
The message was clear. Ending plastic pollution requires shifting from seeing plastic as disposable to treating it as a resource to reduce, reuse, recycle and recover.
We know of plastic gallons, particularly the ones we call the Eco4 gallons. They originally contain oil, but after we finish using the oil, we use these containers for storing water in our homes, and so they don't end up as waste. So learning from this, it means that there are many other plastics that if we think critically about, we may find other uses for such plastics. And this way, we will end or at least reduce significantly the generation of plastic waste from the use of such products.
Municipal Chief Executive for Techiman North, Adam Kobna Johnson, who was the special guest speaker at the event, noted that his office is set to conduct a massive sanitation campaign across the area to help expose the people to the negative impacts of plastic pollution.
We embark upon education to make sure that the usage, as we have reiterated here, reuse, and then the alternative to the plastic, that is the paper and other, alternatives that are environmentally friendly, to make sure that we can absorb ourselves from these environmental problems.
He also noted that there is the need to intensify tree planting efforts, particularly across schools, to help reduce global warming as well as mitigate the impact of climate change.
We have also taken it upon ourselves in collaboration with the Environmental Protection Authority to make sure that we also embark upon serious, massive tree planting exercise. We also have a duty to make sure that climate change, we tackle it head on. And one of the ways that we can tackle the climate change is to plant more trees.
The EPA sees students like those assembled here as vital agents of change. The plan is to embed in them the reduce, reuse and recycle mindset early to foster lasting behavioral shifts in how plastic is handled.
As we engage students in their formative years, their understanding of this and their involvement in plastic waste management practices can lead to behavior change over a long period, so that we can get to a stage where we will have a large number of people who are involved in plastic waste management.
Today wasn't just about highlighting the problem, it was about showcasing the community-driven solutions and inspiring many more others. Anna Sabit, Joy News.
And that'll be all for the news for this belt, but you should log on to myjoyonline.com for more of our local and international stories. And of course, remember that The Probe with Carlos Coloni comes up at 8 o'clock as well. I'm Noella Carinielli.